And we're coming to you live from the Built Ford Tough Studio. Boomer Esiason and Greg Giannotti. It's Boomer and Gio on the Fan. Simulcast across the country on CBS Sports Network and wherever you're on the free Odyssey app. Good Monday morning. Look at this. The sun is coming up at this hour. That means that we are in the throes of spring, headed towards summer with so much going on in New York sports. We are right there about May. We're going to see May this week. And we've got Knicks playoff basketball in full swing. What a game yesterday. The ups and downs, the physicality, the drama, the complaining about the officials. You had all of it. The scare with Jalen Brunson going back to the locker room, but him coming back and being the closer and the superstar clutch man that he is. And they have a 3-1 lead now in this series against the Detroit Pistons, and it was just good to see another Karl-Anthony Towns performance that's back-to-back where he looks like a guy who he should be, which is a top player in this league that could dominate basketball games. We got draft stuff. We got Mets and Yankees. We've got it all. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
Yeah, good morning, G. I'm doing great. And in regards to this Knicks game yesterday, you had it all. You had big leads by one team, a blown lead by that same team. Detroit comes back, and then Karl-Anthony Towns just had an amazing finish to this game, an amazing finish. So this is the guy that, we wanted to see in the playoffs. We wanted to wait until we got to the playoffs to see what he was going to look like. And these last 2 games have basically elevated him now to the player that we were hoping that they had acquired when they got him. Yeah, right. That shot from behind the backboard.
He's done that a couple of times. It's insane.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just something that he's got in his arsenal. And there's a confidence that he is showing in these games that I hadn't really seen against good teams, and especially good teams late in games all year. Like we had seen the version of this guy against the Wizards or whoever else. But not in games like this against good physical basketball teams. I think that's the most encouraging thing is the Pistons are trying to be physical with him. They're trying to shut him down. They're trying to get in his head and played all the stereotypes of him not being a big-time player or a soft player. And he has stepped up in these last 2 games after having only 10 points in Game 2 and has looked like the best player on the court, which is a great sign if they could finish this off and move forward, because then you feel like you actually have a chance in the second round where you didn't feel like you had a chance in the second round after games 1 and 2.
Yeah, watching Boston and Orlando. Excuse me. Watching Boston and Orlando yesterday, neither one of those teams are all that physical, although Orlando's trying to play physical against Boston. There isn't a team that is nearly as physical as Detroit's playing the Knicks right now. And if I had to, and I know that I'm biased because I am a Knicks fan, but I have to say, watching these games, I want to feel like it's a 60-40 in terms of the referees in favor of the Pistons. Now, I know at the end of this game yesterday, there is a very controversial call in the eyes of Bickerstaff, their coach over there in Detroit, as to whether or not there was a foul in the last shot. And I'm glad they didn't call it. I am so glad that they didn't call that. And I was just thinking about the complaining and listening to the post-game press conference, and I'm like, you know what? I have a feeling like it's 60-40 in favor of the Pistons, the referees, the way they've been calling games. And I know that Cade Cunningham didn't get to the line all that much yesterday, but then again,
got more than Brunson did.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm just like, you got to force the issue if you're one of these guys. And I don't know. It's just and I know as a fan, I hate complaining about the referees, especially when it comes to my Rangers, and it's the screw the Ranger button that gets hit. But I don't know. I just feel like, am I wrong?
No, not at all. I mean, but I also felt like, I'm done with the complaining about the officials. I got on Tibbs, after Game 2 complaining about the officials. I thought it was ridiculous. So I think that J.B. Bickerstaff, when he's complaining about this, especially the way the game was officiated, I mean, they're knocking each other over for 4 quarters, and then all of a sudden you want that to be called at the end of the game and then have foul shots determine the outcome? No way. So, but yes, I do think that the Pistons have gotten probably more calls. It feels that way. Maybe we're looking through a Knicks lens, but I'm sorry. This is you had every opportunity in the world I feel like we're going through this again like Rick Carlisle last year, and everybody's saying, oh, the Knicks are going to get the calls, and they're the big market team. And shut up. You had a lead in this game. You went home. You lost 2 at home. And if you're going to sit there and blame the officials for it, then you're a loser. Just like I told Tom Thibodeau that
he was a loser after
that was a loser mentality.
Yes. You can't have that mentality.
And you know what they did was they came back and they fixed all the things we were asking, though, which was great about it. So even though I was alarmed at all the excuses he was making after Game 2, they came back and fixed all of that stuff. So, yeah, just a loser mentality.
I will say, though, that these last 2 games and the performance in crunch time by Karl-Anthony Towns is exactly what you could only, as a Knicks fan, this is what we hope for. And he was unbelievable. I mean, again, the shot, the 3-point shot was a great shot.
Yeah.
But at least that was, he was probably about 5 feet. He had a couple where he was about 5 feet from the 3-point line. And the last one was amazing. But the shot from behind the basket that didn't touch anything.
Yeah.
It just went straight through. To have the ability to do that with a guy draped all over you. Those are the types of plays, if they get through this series, which we think they will, but those are the types of plays that he's going to have to continue to make if they're going to go on to win. That was an unbelievable fourth quarter performance.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's one of these post Sports Plus stories that is behind the paywall.
Yeah,
that I didn't pay for. But you know who they're Stefan Bondi wrote an article saying that there was one man behind this inspiring performance, back-to-back performances of Karl-Anthony Towns. And the name is just hilarious of who the guy who has been the catalyst to get him playing like this. None other than our friend Kyrie Irving.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't read the article, though, which is just so funny. He goes, Karl-Anthony Towns' performance that saved the Knicks came thanks to Kyrie Irving.
Did they have a conversation or something?
I don't know.
What happened?
Whatever it is. It definitely got my attention with the headline, but I just thought that was funny. Of all guys to inspire our superstar to play like a superstar, here it is Kyrie Irving. But, yeah, after Game 2, I felt terrible about the Knicks. I came on here and said that this team's got no shot in getting past the second round. Well, after these last 2 performances, even though both these games came down to the wire, just the way that they played, who stepped up. It's like every game, though, I got to worry about Jalen Brunson's ankles. Can we get through one of these games where we're not worried about his ankles? Jesus, it's like you see the entire season flash in front of your eyes every single game.
Well, look what happened to Damian Lillard.
Yeah, I know.
He blows out his Achilles. These are the things that you worry about, and it happened to the Knicks last year. They just basically were going down one by one, and it just goes to show you just how competitive these games are. Some of it's not pretty, but you could tell that they're actually competing. This is not like game 41 in the middle of the season.
Yeah, and that was one of the points that I had when I was positive about the Knicks during the season when they were losing to the better teams. I said, you're not going to see them play like this in the playoffs. You're going to get a different type of team, and it didn't get off to a great start. But maybe this, if you want to go glass half full about them beating the Celtics or hanging with them in the second round, and of course this series is not over yet, have to finish it off. It's that, the Pistons were the perfect team to get them ready to take on the best in the NBA because they're so physical, they're so tough. It was almost like a smelling salt for these guys to wake up and say, all right, no more messing around. We can't just roll the ball out there and have more talent than the other team and win. We got to fight. We got to fight for these victories, and they certainly have. So, yeah, let's try to finish it off, though, at home on Tuesday, and then get a little rest to make sure we get those ankles taken care of, taped up for Jalen Brunson, and give the Celtics a whirl, huh?
Yeah, when we left here on Friday, we were hoping that we came here today where they would win both of these games. And both of these games were high-wire acts. They were competitive. I got to give Detroit credit because they don't have nearly the players that the Knicks have.
Right.
And they're hanging with them, and they're giving them everything they can handle. And it's physical as hell, man.
Yeah.
There are more guys that hit the ground in these games than I think all during the year throughout the entire season.
It's great. It's a so much better watch than what you see in the regular season where there's clanging threes off the rim and nobody's there and everybody's loitering. It's a totally different game.
Now, I know that you were at the Portly Villager yesterday. You had your guest bartending.
Yes.
By the way, you set records yesterday, and I'm very proud of you. I'm very thankful to you and to everybody out there, and to the Portland Villager, and everybody showed up for you.
Yeah, it was a
and
good
showed
one.
up for us. Were you able to you have like one eye on the game?
Oh,
the
of
whole
course,
time?
yeah. I mean,
saw the videos of when the Knicks won and how jacked everybody was.
Yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, so there's TVs everywhere. The last 3 or 4 minutes, I did sit there and let the other bartenders do what they had to do, and then took in the game to make sure I knew what was going on. But yeah, of course, I mean you can pay attention to what's happening. We put the sound on in the fourth quarter, pumping throughout the bar. But yeah, they did an amazing job this year. Kegs and Marlene and everybody over there who showed up. We tripled the amount of money that we raised last year this year, which is incredible that everybody stepped up in the way that they did. So very, very, very proud moment, the community coming together, and just tremendous. So great stuff.
I saw all the videos on social media and everything. Just unbelievable. A small little place in Sayville, Long Island, for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Just did what they did, and it touches me, and it touches our family, and touches everybody that's associated with CF and everything else. I can't even tell you how much we appreciate it. So thank you for doing that. And there was no way that I was getting out there.
No, I understand. I know.
You have to understand that.
No, trust me, I get it. I mean, listen, hell, it was tough for me, and I live around the corner. You know? I mean, with the Saturday night thing, and then, obviously we had to be up early the next day to get back to Sabrina's soccer game. I knew it was going to be a good day. The Dolphins ended up winning the game, so had a great game.
Oh, the Dolphins won, okay.
Yeah, the Dolphins won. No, they didn't beat the Daisies. We haven't played the Daisies since the last time, so that'll be the real test. No,
So your team is improving.
Yeah, indeed, yes. And they beat the Ladybugs.
They beat the Ladybugs.
They beat the Ladybugs. But I said, hey, listen, this day is going to be a good day. You start off with a Dolphins victory, and then we have a great fundraiser and a great Knicks win. So it definitely set the tone.
Sabrina score a goal?
She did not. She did. She played goal for a while and did not give up a goal and
Did
had
she
like
get
5
involved?
saves.
She got involved?
She did.
Maybe
More
she's
involved than normal.
Maybe she's a goaltender.
Yeah, she likes it. I mean, she's more aggressive as a goalie than she is any other place on the field.
Maybe she doesn't like to run.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, because she's smiling. She runs around, she smiles, but she's not aggressive. She's aggressive when she's in the goal, but when she's not, she's just running around smiling the whole time. And I'm like, I'm glad you're having fun, but get the goddamn ball. But anyway.
That's great.
So you're trying to log in there to the Kyrie Irving story.
I can.
All right, so I want to see this because, I mean, it's a total one of these suck you in type of headlines.
Yeah, I know.
But I'd love to know what Kyrie Irving told Karl-Anthony Towns that got him going, because of all people. I mean, but Kyrie's been a different guy since he ended up leaving here and going to Dallas. I know he had the big injury, but I mean, he was like everything that he was in Brooklyn that we couldn't stand about him. He completely reversed and turned into the player that the Nets wanted.
What I don't understand is, why do you think that happened? Like with Kyrie, like when he was here, maybe it was the COVID thing.
That was a big part of it.
It was the anti-vax thing, which turns out that he was right.
Well, yeah.
I mean, all of these things that went down here when he was here, and all the idiocy that we were all living through.
Yeah, I mean, the COVID thing was one thing. I mean, we started putting that stuff about the movie out. That was really bad, the anti-Semitic stuff. But I just think it was a time in his life. There was just a lot of stuff going on, and he ended up getting out of here, and things started calming down, and he was teamed up with Luka there for a while. There's not as many eyeballs on him in Dallas. It's just not as much controversy. So it ended up working out for him. But yeah, I mean, and now you think about that run there and those guys where Kyrie Irving, even though unfortunately he got hurt, but like it's like somehow Kevin Durant feels more radioactive than Kyrie Irving does these days.
Yeah,
which is incredible. Oh, you got it?
I got it. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I'll let you read it here.
All right, very good.
During the break.
Yeah, see exactly what it was. And then, of course, we got plenty of draft talk to get into. I mean, it was amazing, the Shedeur Sanders stuff that goes on over the weekend, the prank call. I mean, it was just as wild of a scene as you could possibly have.
Well, I got to tell you, the whole weekend started off with your rant about Jackson Dart.
Yeah, that went everywhere.
That thing was incredible on Friday morning.
Yeah, it went everywhere. That New York Post wrote about it, awful announcing, the whole deal.
The thing about this Jackson Dart kid, just just to get away from some of the things that you were talking about, the
Yeah.
Utah Clapper and the mom on Instagram and all the similarities to Zach Wilson. Yes, he went to the same high school as Zach Wilson. He did not go to BYU. He left Utah.
Yep.
He went to USC, and then he went to 3 years in, at Ole Miss, and he played a lot of college football, just like Shedeur Sanders. They both played a lot of college football, which is a good thing. That's a good basis to start from. And watching some of the interaction with him and John Gruden is hilarious. It is hilarious. And, he's yelling at him. And, of course, Jackson Dart is a kid that loves to run with the football, and he takes hits when he runs with the football. And, Gruden's telling him, why do you take the hit? He goes, well, I'm +2. What the hell's +2? He goes, +2 means every time I get a hit, I want to fall forward to get 2 extra yards. Well, that crap's going to stop now. You can't be taking hits in the NFL, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think the kid he comes across as a football player. He comes across as a very likable person, and I think he's going to be a good signing long term for the Giants. If I just go by personality and just watching some of those interviews with John Gruden, I actually liked his interaction with him. Like, he wasn't intimidated or anything. He was just had nice matter-of-fact conversation with Gruden. Gruden can be very intimidating, and he handled it. He handled it great. And then when it came to the clapping, I mean, that's what they all do in college now, and they got to learn how to become an NFL quarterback. And Jackson can come here and he can learn. He can learn from both Jameis, or actually all three of them, Tommy DeVito, Jameis, and of course Russell Wilson, as to how you handle a huddle, how you call the plays at the line of scrimmage, all of those things that he hasn't had to do.
Yeah. Well, I hope he doesn't play this year, because that means that those guys, a combination of Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, are playing well. They're winning games. He can learn, because the last thing you want is to throw a guy in there and then get the start of his career off on the wrong foot. We've seen that way too many times around here. All right, Boomer and Gio just getting started on this Monday morning. Jerry joins us. His first update of the morning coming up next.